How's it going, everyone? I hope everyone is doing okay. I have taken a little drive about 10 miles from Cheltenham, where I live, to come take a look at another piece of land, basically, which is pretty cool. One of my friends owns a pet shop, and he's got a lot of customers who have land, so he suggested I put a little notice in there to see if I get any response. And someone went in last week and said, hey, that looks interesting, here's my details, pass it on to your friend, basically. So I gave them a call yesterday, and they said, yep, go take a look. It's pretty overgrown. It used to be a market garden, which is pretty cool. So I think there'd be less issues with planning and change of use. And I'm just sitting and looking at it now, if this is the right piece of land, which I'll explain to you in a minute. It doesn't look like permanent pasture, it just looks overgrown with crap, basically. So yeah, we'll take a look. So basically, the reason why I say I'm not too sure if this is the right piece of land, because when I spoke to the person, or the lady that's part of the organization that owns the land, they explained to me where it is, because there isn't a postcode to it. But I was confused because they said go down this road, the B4011, which actually isn't that road anymore. It's called the B4077. That was the first bit of confusion, but I kind of figured it out. Then they said go down or go past this garage, which I did, and then just on the right hand side there's a road that goes towards Greet, which is a little village. Now the very first road past the garage goes towards Gretton, but it also goes towards Greet, but it just doesn't say Greet. And then she said there's a big wooden fence, and then that's where the land is. So there isn't a wooden fence here, it's a metal fence, which is the second part of the confusion. And the third part of the confusion is if you go further on that road, there is a road that goes towards Greet, and it's signposted towards Greet. So I've done a bit of deduction, whatever the right word is, some investigatory work, and I've basically come to the conclusion that this must be the piece of land. You know, I've driven all the way down to that other place where the road does go towards Greet, and it definitely doesn't look like the right place. So anyway, I'm going to get out the car, take a look around, and see if there's any evidence of a past market garden. Try to see if I can look what the soil looks like, and then also look to see if there's a connection for water. So I'll take you guys with me and we can see what we see. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna have to excuse the noise. It's right by a relatively main road, so there's cars and trucks and buses driving past. So off the bat, sorry, I'm just looking around because there's just stuff everywhere and spiders. I don't like spiders. Off the bat, it is very, very overgrown. And obviously I'm a bit sketchy with my knee, like I mentioned in the last video. I've hurt my knee, and if I misstep, it can kind of sometimes tweak a bit, which is not obviously ideal, and I do not want to be stuck in a field by myself, although I've got my phone with me. Anyway, so man, it is really overgrown. When I looked on Google Earth and when I drove past, oh, that was a spider, I saw that there was a little kind of thing, a little structure on the side here, and if I am not mistaken, that's possibly where a water connection could be. So I'm going to try to navigate my way through all this overgrown brush and weed, and weeds, should I say, there's no weed here, and see if that's what it is, a little housing for water. So I'm busy walking through this field very slowly because silly, or stupid should I say, me never wore long trousers. I'm wearing shorts, which doesn't help that it's so overgrown, and I'm obviously wary about ticks and all sorts of other things that could be in here. But it looks like that little thing might be cordoned off anyway. So I'm gonna try get closer, come all this way, may as well, risking my life here. Well, it's actually not too bad here, that's okay. Because a lot of this is gonna hinge on whether or not the land has water. You know, it's one thing being all overgrown, that can be sorted out, but trying to get water in is either expensive or impossible. So let's take a look. Not gonna lie, it looks like something out of a bloody horror film. But this could actually be the place, really, because like I said, I wasn't too sure. It looks like there was some kind of bedding and stuff for chickens, or I don't know, something. Let's see what this thing is. I can't see any evidence of a water connection. I'm gonna go walk over here and just see if there's something over there. Yeah, I can't see anything. It's really overgrown. There's loads of brambles here, so I can't really tell if there's a water connection. Okay, so I made it out alive. I've done a tick check and I'm all clear, although my legs are furiously itchy from all that rubbish that's in there. Quite a lot of thistles and not very nice things. So I don't know, it's I don't know, it's not as nice as the other piece of land. The other piece of land just basically had grasses, whereas this is just weeds everywhere, and some grasses and things. There's a few little self-seeded hawthorns, it looks like it, in the middle of the field, where that's not too much of an issue. But my biggest concern, I would have to say, is probably the fact that you can't see if there's a water connection. And there was that little structure thing just off to the side of it. There was something that looked a bit like asbestos, which is not something I really want to be involved with. I know it's not too much of a hassle, but you know, all that stuff costs to get that removed and all that kind of thing. So I'll still give them a call, because if they can tell me that yes, there definitely is a water connection, it's always something to consider. I think there's no point in, you know, not going for opportunities if they're there, but you know, in order to make the right decision, you need to have all the information, basically. So you know, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to carry on looking. I'm not going to stop. It's not like I've given up on the other piece of land just yet. You know, this is all a process, and I just think sometimes, you know, I was speaking to someone about this yesterday. The more you take action and you're proactive on trying to do something, the more opportunities start to present themselves. So it would have been silly of me not to come here. So anyway, I might go home and call the person who I spoke to yesterday, ask them a few questions, and depending on what they say, I might come back and make a bit more of this video. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. It's the next day now, and I've phoned the person that was part of the organisation that owned that piece of land that we were just at now, or yesterday, and yeah, so I had to think about it overnight, basically, and I was at the right place. I asked them about those little structures that we were taking a look at. I asked about water, and she said she's pretty sure there is one. She'll find out exactly where it is. And then the other thing I mentioned was that sheeting that I thought was asbestos. And I said, look, I'm interested if there is water available, obviously, and you know, we need to find out about what that whole asbestos thing is, if it is that. She did say that if it is asbestos, they're probably not even going to bother, because the land, they wouldn't know if the land's been contaminated, which obviously makes perfect sense. Now, I think I mentioned yesterday that the land used to be a market garden. So I did a bit of research online. I went and searched market garden, wherever, I can't remember what that place is called now off the top of my head. And I couldn't find anything, so I downloaded Google Earth Pro, and what you can do with that is actually look at historical satellite images of different areas, and it goes all the way back to like 1940 or something silly like that. I don't know when, ages ago basically, and you can go through time and look at different years, and I couldn't see much with the exception for 1 year. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but it wasn't that long ago. And it definitely didn't look like there was a market garden there. So I haven't got my whole computer set up to stream from my screen, but I'll find the image and, you know, show you. But it looked quite industrial to me. It looked like there was diggers and stuff. I don't really know. I'll put it up and you can take a look. And that makes me a bit skeptical. I don't really like the idea of that having had industrial stuff on there, mainly because who knows if things were got contaminated, if there was fuel dropped or if there was cement everywhere, or who knows what they were doing. I'm not really sure about that place. So, you know, that is what it is. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said yesterday, I'm not going to just throw opportunities away. I'll see them through, get all the information and take it from there. So that is it for now. I've also spent some time today going over or trying to contact DEFRA and Natural England again. I think I did tell you that I called them and left a message, but I haven't heard back, and it's been more than 48 hours, which they said is how long it takes for them to return your call. I am going to make a whole video based on what all of that has been, because it's been incredibly eye-opening, very frustrating, and I want to wait to hear back from the people I eventually got hold of so I can make a whole video about it, so that whoever's watching this can find will hopefully find use out of it and not have to go through all the crap that I did to have to get to the right people. So hopefully that'll be in an upcoming video. In the meantime, I'm hoping to hear back from the other piece of land about whether or not they like the proposal, because that obviously they have to like the proposal first before I'd need to bother about going through all this other stuff. So we'll see. It's a bit frustrating, I feel a bit defeated about the whole thing, but you know, carry on, onwards and upwards. So that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that video. Yeah, I'll speak to you everyone soon. See you later.